Welcome back to the Cone Zone, the podcast where traffic control isn't background noise, it's the front line of roadway safety. I'm your host, the Cone Commander. Every day, millions of drivers pass through work zones without a second thought. They see cones, signs, flashing lights, and they think that's the whole story. But today, we're pulling back the curtain because what you don't see in a work zone is often what matters the most. Let's start where most people live, behind the wheel. You're running late, your GPS says you should be home already, and then suddenly, brake lights, orange signs, road work ahead. Your first reaction probably isn't gratitude, it's frustration. Why is this here? No one's even working. They could have done this at night. Those are all fair thoughts if you don't know the full picture. But traffic control isn't just about what's happening right now, it's about what's coming next. Work zones run on a clock most drivers never see. Before sunrise, crews are staging equipment, traffic control teams are reviewing plans, radios are checked, roles are assigned. Before the first cone hits pavement, someone has already answered questions like, what happens if traffic backs up past this intersection? How do we get emergency vehicles through? What if weather changes? What if a driver ignores the taper? Every what if gets addressed before the zone goes live. Let's talk more about the method of handling traffic, or an MHT. An MHT isn't just a drawing, it's a promise. A promise that drivers will get clear warnings, workers will have adequate space, pedestrians won't be forgotten, cyclists won't be forced into danger. This is where buffer spaces matter. This is where taper length matters. And this is where sign spacing matters. And yes, this is where the MUTCD standards come into play. Those standards exist because people got hurt before they existed. Here's the hard truth: most work zone incidents don't happen because the plan was bad, they happen because the plan wasn't followed. A driver speeds, a phone comes out, a cone gets hit, or a buffer disappears. And in traffic control, buffers aren't optional, they're survival space. Once that space is gone, there's no rewind button. Now, let's switch perspectives. You're wearing a vest. You're standing on hot asphalt. Traffic's flying by at 45, 55, sometimes 65 miles an hour. You feel every gust of wind from passing vehicles. You hear tires drift too close. You lock eyes with drivers who aren't looking at the road. Traffic control means trusting strangers with your life every single shift. That's the reality that no cone can show. Let's address a big question. Why is the work zone empty? Well, it could be because concrete's curing, crews are rotating, utility works underground, equipment is being staged for safety, work is scheduled in phases, traffic control stays in place because removing it early is more dangerous than leaving it up. An empty zone doesn't mean it's unnecessary, it means it's unfinished. On the cone zone, cones aren't props, they're signals, they're boundaries. They're warnings written in bright orange. A cone says, slow down, pay attention, someone's working here. And when cones disappear, that protection disappears with them. So the next time you drive through a work zone, remember, you're not just passing through a delay, you're passing through somebody's job site. The cones are there for a reason, the signs are there for a reason, and the people are there for a reason. Slow it down, put the phone away, respect the plan. This is the Cone Zone. I'm the Cone Commander, and as always, stay safe, stay alert, and keep traffic moving.